Hello and welcome to the Virtual Racing League live from Michigan International Speedway on V-Speed. We're back for the 2021 Virtual Racing League Cup Series and season opening up here tonight. I want to thank you all for joining us as the drivers wrapping up their practice session. About to get things underway for tonight's race, the VRL Michigan season opener. From Michigan International Speedway, 90 laps tonight, 180 miles around this 2-mile racetrack. 25 will be the stage break, and this is race of one of 25 on the schedule this season. I want to thank Reggie Reg for the subscription just before we got in here. I want to thank you so much for that. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for your support these last couple of years as the drivers just 20 seconds away from heading to the qualifying session where we'll figure out where your favorite drivers are going to be starting in tonight's race. Welcome Blazer Pete, and welcome all who are here and watching tonight's season opener. Right now, Safe Ferris, a newcomer to the league, racing for Team V-Speed. He is the fastest in the practice session, followed closely by Dylan Parker in the number 3 machine. As now we are wrapping up the practice session, let's take a look at tonight's track conditions to see what these drivers are going to be dealing with, as we've got a car hanging over the pit wall. 86 degree air temp, 120 degree track temp. Should be pretty slick for these guys. We'll have to see how these drivers handle the conditions. Let's see, first on the racetrack, Safe Ferris looks to be the first rolling out. That number 44 Team V-Speed machine. We'll pull up our qualifying ticker so you can see where your favorite drivers are going to end up qualifying and starting here tonight. We got a few new things to go through this season, but most of the rules carrying over from last year. Should be 5 drivers earning points at the end of the stages. And in tonight's race, just the one stage there on lap 25, and then they'll run to the end on lap 90. And really looking forward to seeing how these guys do and manage all of that and what the strategy plays out to be. We've got some familiar faces, some newcomers here this year. You can see Taylor Butcher Benjamin. He's back in a bright green Mountain Dew machine. We've got Brennan Hattery, a name that I don't necessarily recognize. I think a newcomer here, making his first start. Keith Mayato returning from last season in the V-Speed machine as well. We've got Alec Martinez, the number 18 car, a little different paint scheme this year. Adam Cabot, the Magic Man, number 77, he is back. Looking forward to seeing what he can do, if he can pull off some magic here tonight to kick things off. Eric Hutton, the number 88, you'll recognize that name from over in the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series, but also racing here in the Virtual Racing League. Looking forward to seeing what he can do. AJ Stravato, we are all too familiar with AJ with his dominance over in the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series. 2 wins in a row over there as he's warming up that car to get up to speed for his first qualifying lap. As Caleb Hattery sits on the pole right now. Got Marcus Emerson out here on track. Marcus, a winner in the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series as well this season over here in the Virtual Racing League. Got a few others. Ryan Shelton on the track right now. He's 6th fastest. Eli Hinton, Eddie Trejo, Dylan Parker, Jeff Wright, Angelo Ronis, Josiah Vincent, Garrett Keat, Jordan Ashland, Lane Sulfridge, Yusuf Ghali, Joe Stafford, name I don't recognize. But most of the other drivers here returning from last year as Taylor Butcher Benjamin wraps up his second lap time. And he will take it to the top of the board in the number 1 machine. As we see Eli Hinton in that Toyota Camry TRD machine, the metallic red and silver. Right now, 14th fastest, trying to pick it up here on lap number 2. Right down on that apron. We'll see if he can pick up any time was a 39.16, now a 38.9. That is going to be good to tie Alec Martinez. Martinez, though, a little bit of an advantage, actually 1/1000th faster. He will be scored in the 11th position, and Eli Hinton in the 12th spot. An eye on AJ Stravato, who's got one more lap to go, or just a couple of corners left, rather. We'll go on board here with the front bumper. Cam down the front straightaway, trying to pick up from his 39.079, and this time at the line to be a 38.896. So that will be good enough for 12th fastest. Not his best lap time, but we'll have to do is here comes Zach Halpern trying to improve on his lap time. We go from a 39.7 to a 38.9, so a lot of these lap times right around that 38.9 time, but Taylor Butcher Benjamin about a 1/10 of a second faster. So very good start to the season for Taylor Butcher Benjamin, who right now sits 19/1000ths up on Jeff Wright. And it looks like everybody has wrapped it up for the qualifying session. Looks like 21 drivers took a time. That'll leave about 7 or 8 not taking a time. And we are going to be heading to the starting grid here in just a few moments. And like we always do, cheer on your favorite drivers. Let us know you're out there. Let us know who you're rooting for. We'll try and follow along with them throughout the race. But here is your starting grid in tonight's season opener for the Virtual Racing League. On the pole, Taylor Butcher Benjamin in the number 1 machine. He rolls off from the number 1 position with the 38.81 second lap. He was outside the 48 of Jeff Wright with the 38.829. Also a great lap time there. He'll be rolling off on the front row. Starting in 3rd position, it's Dane Cruz in the number 40 machine, and Adam Cabot going to be rolling off in the 4th position. Dylan Parker starting in 5th here tonight. Rolling off in 6th, it's Marcus Emerson. Starting 7th, Ryan Shelton in the number 10 machine as they get gridded up here. Angelo Horonis in the number 29. He'll be rolling off in the 8th position. Rolling off 9th, it's Jeremiah Vincent. Familiar name for all of you below the Double Yellow Cup Series fans. He is racing in the Virtual Racing League as well. Caleb Hattery going to be starting in the 10th position here tonight. 11th position is Jeremy Miller. 12th is Eric Hutton, the number 88 machine. AJ Stravato starting in 13th. Alec Martinez going to be starting in the 14th position. Eli Hinton starting in 15th. Zach Halpern starting in the 16th spot. Safe Ferris starting in 17th. Brennan Hattery starting in the 18th position. Keith Mayato going to be starting in 19th, and rounding out the top 20 is Elliot Butler. In 21st, it's Eddie Trejo. In 22nd, Yusuf Ghali. 23rd, Garrett Keat. 24th, Joe Stafford. Josiah Vincent going to be starting in 25th. 26th is Jordan Ashland. 27th, Lyle Sulfridge. And 28th is Lane Sulfridge. So the Sulfridge brothers there on the back row. Going to get us kicked off here tonight. Once again, is Taylor Butcher Benjamin on the pole position as the field starts to make their way off the pit lane. So up onto the racetrack now. Interesting paint scheme on the number 48 machine. A bit of a custom Pepsi scheme there, as we saw him run some Lowe's schemes last year. I believe it was the Patriotic Lowe's scheme quite a bit of the season. Thank you for the follow, X187X Master. Or 187 Master. Not sure exactly how you go about saying that, but appreciate you tuning in. Thanks for the follow. I hope you enjoyed tonight's race. We are so looking forward to getting back to the racing action here with the Virtual Racing League. And if you are just joining us, this is the season opener for the series for 2021. We broadcast these guys last year for the second half of their season, and a ton of great finishes, a lot of drama to wrap up the year. We'll see if any of that spills over into 2021, but for now, Taylor Butcher Benjamin in that number 1 car Be trying to lead the first lap of the race as the pace car makes the hard left-hand turn onto pit road. We are about to get underway from Michigan International Speedway as the field rolls towards that start-finish line. Green flag in the air, and we are underway for the Virtual Racing League's 2021 Cup Series. Down the backstretch here, already a move to take the lead away. Jeff Wright looks to the inside, and he's going to make his way right on around Taylor Butcher Benjamin. But here comes Adam Cabot, going to try and make it 3 wide down the front straightaway. Can he get to the start-finish line first? He will not. It is Jeff Wright leading lap number 1 of the season here. Let's take a look at our ticker so you can follow along with your favorite drivers. Here goes Cabot to the inside. Big dive into turn number 1, and he's able to slide up in front of the 48, but can Jeff Wright get back to the bumper and perhaps take a shot to the inside headed into turn number 3? That 77 car, though, has about a half car length advantage. He'll hang on to it. The 48 rides in line. Dane Cruz up here with these guys, as well as Dylan Parker, the top 5, as everyone pretty much in line here among the top 6. But first battles back here between Ryan Shelton, Caleb Hattery, and Angelo Hirones. As those 3 fighting for position just inside the top 10. And a few cars farther back, you see Safe Ferris, who had a good practice lap time. Oh, Eli hitting a big wiggle there out of turn number 2 on that low side. Here comes the 44 to give him a push down the backstretch. But that is going to hold them up just a little bit as the 13 got a real big slide out of the corner. Everything's settled out for the moment, though. We'll see how these guys navigate through traffic, especially from deeper in the field like this. We know that 44 car has some good speed with the practice times shown. Dylan Parker, also one of the faster cars in the practice session. He's up here in the top 5, so would expect him to have some speed, but he's going to try and have to hold on to 5th for the moment, because here comes Ryan Shelton now to the outside. Going to try and take that spot away. And now he's going to try and move to the inside of the 40 of Dane Cruz. Some big moves here by Ryan Shelton in the early laps of this race, trying to make progress and get up towards the front before the stage. As now Marcus Emerson giving a big push to the number 3 of Dylan Parker down the front straightaway. Now he looks to the inside to try and make the pass. And not going to be able to do it. Look at the run from the 3 car in that high lane. He's going to hang on to it for the moment as they work down the back straightaway. Look at this pack of cars. Pretty much everyone grouped up together, but a couple cars towards the back here a little bit off pace. That is Lane Sulfridge and Garrett Keat. I'm not sure if the 8 car, actually 8 car is way back here. Those 2 that you just saw where the Sulfridge is. It's Garrett. 3 laps down. Not sure what happened. Great looking race car, but he's going to have to find his way back on the lead lap with that thing to have any chance at it here. As lap 6 goes up on the board, it is nose to tail for the race lead. And we did not mention it in the pre-race, but $35 purse to the winner here tonight. And these guys all fighting for that. We've got a couple votes for who they want to win the Cup race, it looks like. Byron and Brad. But no cheering on of the drivers in this race. Anybody got a driver on track that they are rooting for? Look at this battle back here between AJ Stravato and Marcus Emerson. These 2 good buddies, teammates over in the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series, and I believe also teammates potentially here in the Virtual Racing League. But Stravato, who has become well accustomed to running in all kinds of leagues across iRacing, definitely showing some speed here as he's moved to the 10th position early on in this one and starting to challenge those guys up there in front of him as they race side by side. That is Caleb Hattery and Dylan Parker. So Dylan dropping a few positions here in the early going of this race, but still working that high side, trying to keep the momentum up there. Behind him, the 9 of Jeremiah Vincent in a Cobalt machine, a different look for that race car than what we've been accustomed to seeing. But the chrome and the blue, nice looking car there. You got the Waste Management and the Adidas machines behind him. Here comes Stravato looking down low on the 29, and everyone's going to go with him. And that'll leave the 29 with no drafting help up there, or very little. As Stravato now works down to that inside battle behind them, though. You see the 30 of Jeremy Miller trying to get to the inside of Mark Emerson. Not going to be able to do so that time through turns 1 and 2, as we've had a little bit of a separation behind Yusuf Gali in the 16th and the 12 of Brennan Hattery in the 17th positions. As behind them, Elliott Butler about 3/4 of a second in the distance. And looking at the front, we have had a challenge for the lead. Ryan Shelton led the last lap, and now he's a sitting duck out there all by himself. And Adam Cabot going to go back to the point for the moment. The 40 car down low having to check up just a little. Almost contact there between the 1 and the 10. They live to tell the tale, but the 10 definitely getting the best of that. The 1 car of Butcher Benjamin, he had to back out of it, and he has lost a couple of spots now due to that. They work down into turn number 3. He's fighting for the 6th and 7th position there with Caleb Hattery. As they work down into turn number 1, 10 laps completed, and Adam Cabot is your leader. He's been up front for a good portion of this race now, 8 laps led out of the first 10, as he started in that 4th position, but right now showing the way. The Magic Man showing some speed early on in the season here. That is what we like to see from the number 77. Didn't see enough of that last year. We saw moments of greatness, saw some opportunities for wins, but never was able to come through. And perhaps he can break through here tonight. That 10 car of Ryan Shelton, who was just your leader, he's fighting for the 4th position. And Dylan Parker starting to close back in. He moves back up to 5th position. So perhaps the strategy for Dylan Parker, who's right back up to where he started in that 5th spot, was to actually save tires here in the opening bit of this race. They've got a car up in front of him with a bit of a connection problem, and that can be a bit distracting on a track like this where you're going so fast down the straightaways. It's such a big draft working too. A blinking car can actually disrupt that a little bit. And it looks like we are getting word from race admin that there is a $2 prize to win the stage. Oh, look at the big slide there, though, from Ryan Shelton, as the 3 of Dylan Parker right to the back bumper, and things starting to get a bit dicey on the backstretch. Marcus Emerson makes a bit of contact with the number 9 of Jeremiah Vincent, and down into the corner. He's going to lose a spot or so, as the 75 of Hattery working the outside lane, not able to keep that speed up there for the moment. And this draft pretty even. Now Marcus going to try and slide up in the gap there. It looks like he will. And the 75 will drop down low into that bottom lane. And now quite a few small groupings of cars here. We've got 2 that have broken out in front. That is Adam Cabot and Jeff Wright working together. And then Dylan Parker kind of leading this big, massive pack. About a second or so behind Dane Cruz up there in front of them. And everybody pretty well grouped up, 5 cars or so at a time in this larger pack. The laps getting clicked off pretty fast here, right around a 40-second a lap pace at the moment, and Adam Cabot continues to show the way. And that's simply the best lawns, simply the best. Not sure what the brand is exactly on that, but number 77, either way, out in front as he leads Jeff Wright, Dane Cruz, Dylan Parker, and Ryan Shelton, your top 5. But now AJ Stravato going to try and break into that top 5. He goes to the inside of Shelton, and he's going to take that spot away. A good move there, and I think that 33 car starting to find a bit of pace here, just 15 laps in. Some of the best drivers are able to save their tires and run a very consistent speed, and it looks like AJ, he has one of the fastest laps of the race, but not the fastest, so obviously just kind of biding his time, and now he's picking them off one after another. As a little bit farther back, we saw a car, that is the 54 of Yusuf Ghali. He looks like he had a little bit of an issue out of turn number 2. But Yusuf, last year's champion, he's up 11 spots in this race, and saw how aggressive he could be at the end of this season. A couple of bump and runs to take the victories and ultimately the championship. What a very dramatic way to win, and he put on a show for us each and every week, and already doing so tonight, up 11 spots. So look for that 54 car to be up in the hunt when it matters, as he still has a bit of distance to go. 11th position, about 2.5 seconds behind your race leader. The fastest car on the racetrack right now is AJ Stravato, as he's starting to track down Dylan Parker, about 10th or so in front of him. And Ryan Shelton right there behind Stravato, he was second fastest on the track. So a couple of quick cars here, that time by Dylan Parker the fastest with a 40.227 to Stravato's 2.55. So very even between those two, but Stravato now in the draft. We'll see if he can reel him in and make that pass for the 4th position. But right now, 4th and 5th right there on your screen as they run. If there's any battles going on back here, pretty much nose to tail for most of the field. We see Eric Hutton back here, one of the winners from last season. He's knocked out early in the championship playoffs, though, if I can recall correctly. It's been a little while. It's interesting how those things kind of slip your mind, but Eric Hutton doing a good job here early on, maintaining around his position in that 14th spot. We'll see if he starts to charge here with just a few laps remaining in the stage. Looks like he is keeping his distance from these cars battling it up in front of him. Taylor Butcher Benjamin, though, your pole sitter, he has gone absolutely the wrong direction, back to now outside the top 10 if the 54 completes the pass. And not the way you want to go to kick things off. They continue to battle it out side by side, still fighting back on the outside. The 54 is going to pull the slide job, and he will clear the number 1. And down the backstretch, Yusuf Ghali into the top 10. Looks like back here we've got a big gaggle of race cars, 3 wide almost for the moment, as Safe Fair is really deep into the corner there, almost makes contact with Zach Halpern, but able to stay off of him and keep some speed in that race car. The 6 car behind him of Elliott Butler in a new paint scheme, trying to give some assistance there. And it is the top 8 that get stage points. All right, we will have to update the information on the graphic. Oh, Mark Emerson down across the infield area. What happened there? As he is able to save it, and he'll drop all the way to about the 15th position. Keith Mayato, the next one behind him. Gonna start putting some pressure on. These two have battled it out quite a bit on the Thursday night races and below the double yellow. What happened to Marcus Emerson to have that happen? Just tag the outside wall with the right rear. Shoots the car down to the infield. And a good job saving it there, as he will continue to race it up outside the top 10. But a change for the lead. While that all happened, Jeff Wright has pulled to the front, and now 3 or 4 car lengths out in front of Adam Cabot. So the 77 giving up the lead here late in the first stage. Dylan Parker battling with AJ Stravato. Stravato able to get around the 40 as well as Dylan Parker. They were both able to get past that 40 machine, and now Stravato moving to the third spot. He's going to slide up in front of the 3, and maybe a crossover here from Dylan Parker. It looks like he will try and attempt it down the back straightaway, as he gets right up along the right side quarter panel. Down into turns 3 and 4. They are side by side. And Dylan Parker with a pretty good run through this set of corners. He's going to be able to pull the nose out in front, and Stravato going to try and use that high line momentum to get back around him, kind of the preferred lane in turns 1 and 2. But Parker with the advantage might be able to hang on to it. But I think Stravato going to try and pull the exact same move and do a little bit of leapfrog here, but not able to get to the inside just yet, as it looks like Jeff Wright, who has pulled out in front now by 0.3 of a second. It looks like he might be on his way to stage win here, but with a connection problem. Keep losing him on our screen, as Adam Cabot right there behind him. In the field working across the start-finish line to complete lap 24. Lap 25 goes on the board. And I'm thinking we get the caution at the end of this lap. That would be 25 completed laps. And Jeff Wright still out in front by a few car lengths as Cabot tries to track him back down. I just don't think he's going to have the time to do it. But this is the view out his windshield, as the 48 of Jeff Wright continues to have the blinking problem. Cabot leading 17 laps. Looks like he is not going to be able to get to the stage win. It looks like Jeff Wright, out of turn number 4, blinking and all, he is going to take the stage win. A couple extra dollars in his pocket, a few more points in hand. So good job there for Jeff Wright, who leads the last 7 laps of the stage, wins the stage. Second place is going to be Adam Cabot. He'll get a few points there. Dylan Parker, 3rd. AJ Stravato all the way up to 4th. Dane Cruz finishes in the 5th position. Alec Martinez in 6th. Very quiet run from 14th for Alec, but a good run nonetheless to kick things off. And Ryan Shelton, who led a lap, he'll finish 7th in the stage. Yusuf Ghali, Jeremiah Vincent appears to have finished 8th. A little blink there from him as well. That is your top 8 finishers in the stage. We'll get the graphics updated for next week so that those will be appropriate. As the field working down the backstretch, I would think that most drivers would bring it down onto the pit lane. Very long lap times there compared to the fresh tires. As the field works their way onto the pit lane, I was just taking a quick scan through some of the updated rules for this season, just so I'm totally familiar with all of the procedures throughout the race. And there are some interesting things about the rules here in the Virtual Racing League that are a bit different from maybe some other series that you've seen. It's Jeff Wright pulling into his pit box, that number 48 car. And Taylor Butcher Benjamin, your pole sitter there, he'll pull into the first pit box. Nobody electing to stay on the racetrack for the moment, other than the number 8 machine, who is Garrett Keat, multiple laps down. And winning the battle off, it is going to be Jeff Wright, that 48 car. Adam Cabot 2nd. Dylan Parker 3rd. AJ Stravato 4th. And Dane Cruz exiting the pit lane in that 5th position. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. and we'll be right back with the green flag. V-Speed is proud to be partnered with Below the Double Yellow podcast, a podcast for NASCAR fans by NASCAR fans. Listen to Nick and Joe discuss all the latest on-track action, available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. V-Speed is also proud to present the 2021 Below the Double Yellow Cup Series, brought to you by the American Trucking Association, starting January 14th, 8:25 p.m. Eastern Time, Thursdays at twitch.tv/VSpeedSim.
Reach deep into yerba mate culture, and you'll discover people have long gathered to imbibe mate to awaken the mind, perform extraordinary feats, and exchange confidences. Brewed from the naturally caffeinated and nourishing leaves of the species of holly native to the South American Atlantic rainforest, yerba mate has the strength of coffee, the health benefits of tea, and the euphoria of chocolate, all in one beverage. Of the 6 commonly used stimulants in the world, coffee, tea, cola, cocoa, and guaraná, yerba mate triumphs as the most balanced and healthful while it stimulates. Come to life with Guayaquil's wide assortment of yerba mate offerings, from cans to bottles to loose-leaf yerba mate, all with powers to unite and energize.
A couple quick commercials there to help you learn about some of our sponsors, the Below the Double Yellow podcast, as well as Guayaki Yerba Mate. Delicious drinks that I have been drinking over the last couple of weeks since they sent a nice little care package out to us. They are delicious. My favorite so far is the blueberry flavor. I have to look back at the actual name of the flavor, but man, that flavor is good. If you like peace tea, it actually tastes a lot like the snowberry tea, which I am a huge fan of. But I'm also a big fan of green flag racing as the pace car makes a hard left onto pit road. Green flag back in the air, and we are underway once again for the Virtual Racing League season opener in Michigan. Jeff Wright, winner of stage number 1. He'll lead the field down into turn number 1, along with Adam Cabot right there behind him. And we saw an issue for the 48 of AJ, or the 33 rather, of AJ Stravato. Too many stalls exiting on the pit lane. We also see Jeremy Miller got a penalty on pit road. So a couple drivers with issues, and Stravato, who had worked his way up into the top 5, now fighting outside the top 25. Try and make his way back up there, but still plenty of time to do so. As look at this field, 3 wide across the start-finish line. Yusuf Ghali down to the inside of the 88 of Eric Hutton, and this could end very badly as they go into turn 1. He actually makes contact. The 88 of Hutton around, and that is going to be very dangerous for the field. Trying to get a view of it as we have cars spinning. That's the 71 of Sulfridge, but Hutton with a bit of nose damage must have hit something, as we are under our first crash yellow of the race. We'll see exactly what happened here to bring out caution number 2 of the night. They were working down into turn number 1. Eric Hutton goes off the nose of the 54, and then up the racetrack. He gets hit by, that is the 37, I believe. Trying to find the 37 car. Maybe it was the 57. See if we can get another view on that. That is the 57, not the 37. Joe Stafford making contact there. Thank you, Hints, for the follow. Appreciate you tuning in. And not too much damage on the nose of Joe Stafford, but see that car, he was trying to check up, and the 88 kind of loops back around, and then we had a couple more cars sliding. That was Stravato, who we had just talked about getting penalized. He barely navigates around that, as slowing up there goes into the grass along with the 71 machine. And that is Lane Sulfridge, who went for a little ride there. So close call for Servato, who was up in the top 5, and the penalty costing him here early on, but able to navigate around that. We have a few cars on the pit lane. Looks like Dylan Parker going to bring it back in after just a couple laps of green flag racing. We'll see what kind of an advantage this gives him. But also Yusuf Ghali bringing it in. Not sure if he got some type of a penalty, but it looks like just topping up on fuel. Hutton is in, Stafford is in, Lane and Lyle Sulfridge. And then this is good news for Garrett Keat, who's going to get one of his laps back. He'll go back to 1 lap down now. And he was 3 laps down just about 5 laps ago, so we may not love seeing crashes for these drivers here, but maybe some people do. One of those tonight, Garrett Keat. He's loving seeing these yellow flags and not being involved. I think he may have to go around again. I don't know if that's how the lucky dog works with him bringing it in immediately after getting the wave by. But we'll see how that all works out. Maybe the pit road was open for him. As let's see if we can bring up a driver. See if Zach Halpern's got any. He's in the chat here. It looks like he is for the Toyota Racing team. Zach Halpern, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy? Well, not too bad. Looks like I actually need to adjust my input here. I think we should be good now. You give me a mic check? All right.
Yeah, I got you.
Perfect. I've got you. You're riding in the 12th position, started in 16th. How's the car feeling here through about the first third of this race?
Car feels pretty good. Kind of just taking it easy, trying to see how it feels. Haven't been racing too much recently, so, off season. So, but, racing clean. Hopefully we can keep slowly working our way up front and be in a position to win at the end.
Yes, sir. You're doing a good job of keeping it clean so far. We got pretty hot track temps here tonight. Is it affecting the handling of the cars that you've noticed, like loose or tight in any way?
It does get a little bit loose on the run there in dirty air, but it's Michigan. You can't really complain too much about it, how loose it is or how tight it is. It's you kind of get what you get, and that's what you deal with. So.
Yes, sir, and making the most of it right now. You're up a few positions to start this thing off. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you, man. Have a good one.
All right, and that was Zach Halpern as we drag him back in with his teammates. Good thing we got that updated again so that you guys could hear him. And it looks like Yusuf Ghali does get a penalty for being the cause of the yellow flag, so he'll go to the back. Another driver who had made his way up into the top 10. And at the front, it is Jeff Wright, Adam Cabot, Dane Cruz, Alec Martinez, and Ryan Shelton in that 5th position. Keith Mayato there on the outside in 6th. There's a little bit of a stack up down in that inside lane. The 9 of Jeremiah Vincent did not get going as well as the cars to his outside. And we are back underway, though. The 48 jumps out in front, and he'll lead the field down into turn number 1 once again. Taking a look back here, safe fares to the inside of Taylor, Butcher, Benjamin, and then Zach Halpern already gaining a few spots on that restart, so we'll have to see how he does here, if he can clear these guys behind him and challenge to get up in the top 5. The 9 car of Jeremiah Vincent down on the inside. Oh, look at this battle, though. Safe Fair is starting to push the 7 up the racetrack, and they are going 3 wide behind. That is Eli Hinton, Jeremiah Vincent, and the 6 of Elliott Butler. Those 3 going to be 3 wide. This has not worked so far from what we've seen in this race, but looks like Jeremiah going to be able to nearly clear the 6 car, but here comes Butler back around the outside. Safe Fares losing control down on the inside. Is he able to hang on to it? Looks like he is, but he's going to lose a lot of track position. He'll drop back to the 20th spot, and more cars coming. Here comes Yusuf Ghali to the inside of Ferris. The 12 of Brennan Hattery had to check up there. Here comes Dylan Parker, who just pitted. And oh, the 29, a big check up here. Angelo Ronis. What happened? He's got some left rear damage. We'll go into the replay here. He gets tagged by the 13 of Hinton. That was that 3 wide we were talking about. And let's go see what happened to Safe Ferris as well. He was racing up with that 7 car. We saw they were very close a couple of corners prior. And Safe, just down low, the 7 car looked like he got a bit wide, or a bit loose rather, on the high line, and just slipped down into the 44 of Ferris. Good save there. But look at this up at the front, a bunch of crazed race car drivers trying to get towards the point. And here comes Ryan Shelton, the number 10 car, trying to challenge for that top spot. And Jeff Wright still continuing to have some of those connection problems that we pointed out earlier on, but he has not dropped yet, hasn't had too many consistent issues. Keith Mayato runs up into the back. That is the 18 of Alec Martinez, and Keith has to do a little bit of evasive maneuvering there, as now we are looking 3, maybe 4 wide down the front stretch. This is dangerous, as the 7 of Halpern able to get out in front just 3 wide, but they're going to make contact down low. That's the 40 of Dane Cruz, as they send it in 3 wide there. Jeremiah Vincent, he's going to get into Keith Mayato. Mayato up towards the wall, not going to hit the wall. Here comes AJ Stravato, who's taken advantage of all of these cars just checking up and bobbing and weaving. He is up to 7th position. So what a drive by Stravato to gain all this track position back. But man, what a disaster there for Mayato, who was making his way towards about 3rd position. And he ran up into the back of the 18, had to make some adjustments. He lost a few more spots, and that put him in a bad position, as they are still 3 wide here. The 1 of Taylor Butcher Benjamin down low, the 6 of Elliott Butler, but here goes Butcher Benjamin slipping up the racetrack, and Butler's going to try and get underneath. Not going to be enough room to do so, and they'll all check up. Yusuf Ghali able to stay straight there, but he made some contact with Elliott Butler, and so everything's getting very crazy here in the mid-pack. Jeremy Miller, big dive into the corner there behind Mark Emerson. This is absolutely wild racing here in the mid-pack. Is out in front. Jeff Wright able to pull a few cars with him. That is Ryan Shelton down low, still challenging for the race lead. And Alec Martinez, Adam Cabot, AJ Stravato, the top 5. And Stravato cannot say enough about that 33 car. This is the kind of driving that we've been accustomed to seeing from him, driving from the back of the pack in about 5 or 10 laps. What an absolute clinic he just put on right there, but we'll see if he can get up towards the front and if he can sustain this speed after driving that hard that quickly. But the 40 car of Dane Cruz right here behind the 13 of Eli Hinton. Hinton with a couple of issues in this short run here. And just outside the top 10, Keith Mayato in 11th. He's looking on the battle between Marcus Emerson and the 30 of Jeremy Miller, as Keith we go to the outside with Mark. They're going to try and use the draft there to get past that 30 car. The 30 very reminiscent of a specific animated race car. Oh man, that was a close call. That car it looks very similar to a Lightning McQueen. Got FCP Euro on the back of that car as well. Probably an owner of a European vehicle. But look at this send down into the corner. Keith Mayato, he's all too familiar with that at this point. Going to try and work past him on the outside. That'll move Mayato back to the 10th position. And that 30 car looking for somewhere to slot in line. But nowhere to be found just yet, as the 1 car of Butcher Benjamin works past on the outside lane. And it is like an opposite train from what you'd see at Martinsville. A high line really the place to be rather than that low line. But he is able to clear the 1 car, and he'll actually get in line now in the 11th position. Meanwhile, up at the front, it is actually getting tighter and tighter. The cars are reeling them back in. Jeff Wright has taken the top spot away. Ryan Shelton a couple car lengths behind and under fire from the 18 of Alec Martinez. And Adam Cabot right there as well, ready to pounce. But he checks up on turn entry just a bit there and reloads to try and get that exit speed. And look at that. He closes right up on Ryan Shelton. As the top four now, single file, nose to tail. Now the 77 looks low. Does Martinez make a move for the race lead? Alec Martinez now looks down low. Not going to have enough room as the 48 with the speed in that middle lane, able to hold him off. And Adam Cabot, though, with the run, he gets really loose out of turn number 2. And that's going to allow the 10 of Shelton to pass him right back. Here comes Stravato, also going to make a move to the inside because of that. So Cabot with a little mistake there, a little too hard on the exit of the corner. Ultimately costs him 2 positions. But I'm having to stop every so often to take a drink. It has been absolutely wild, and my mouth is getting dry. It's the 40 car of Dane Cruz on the outside of Mark Emerson. Look at these guys battling it up here as Cruz able to keep it off the outside wall, but Stravato a bit of a wiggle down there. He's fighting for the 4th position. Now 3 wide. Here comes Yusuf Ghali down to the inside. Cabot backs out of it, and wisely, because we have not seen that 3 wide work at all this race, unless someone does elect to back out of it. But here comes the 7 of Halpern, who's on a big charge here on this run. You know, we just talked to him. He restarted about 12th and right now fighting to get up in the top 5. So doing a fantastic job in the Land O'Lakes Toyota Camry. But big check up there is here comes Marcus Emerson behind him. Nearly made contact, and they're able to keep it pointed forwards. But that was a close call for sure. And nearly the commentator's curse. But here comes Mayato now, making a recovery drive. He was up by the top 5, now moving past the 7 of Halpern. He will take that spot away, slots into a gap just big enough for the race car. And Halpern, no real help up there. As we've got a battle for the race lead. Alec Martinez now to the outside of the 48 of Jeff Wright. And Jeff, really big slide out of the corner, but that 18 car gives him room, and they are banging and crashing on the backstretch. That is Josiah Vincent, who was nearly around, and big damage on the 4 car. What just happened here? It was Yusuf Ghali, who was really low on the racetrack. The 1 car in front of him gets loose. Josiah into the outside wall. He actually just slides down into the 54 after hitting the outside. You saw it all right there, and that was not what you want to see at a track where aerodynamics are so important like this one. Josiah, some big left and right front damage on that race car. Meanwhile, at the front, Alec Martinez has pulled to the lead, and the 48 of Jeff Wright now rides 2nd, Adam Cabot 3rd, and we saw AJ Stravato fighting to get up here, and he was challenging for 3rd just a few moments ago. But Team Toyota on the way. Here comes Eli Hinton in the 5th position, starting to track these guys down. Going forward with Eli here. And you can hear the throttle control. He has to lift. And he is now on the back bumper of AJ Stravato. So that 33 car looking for a way around. And now the 13 is going to be looking for a way around. And they are getting closer and closer behind them as well. Mark Emerson now in that 6th spot. He's up to the back bumper of the 13. Then Ryan Shelton's lost a couple spots. But Keith Mayato is able to get around Zach Halpern. The 7 car, a big shove to the 36 down the front straightaway. And into turn number 1, Mayato with the pull about a car length out in front. Here comes the 30 of Jeremy Miller behind them. And you can really see the aero push starting to affect some cars as Mayato a little scrape against the wall, but that could have been actually the 10 car who lost a bit of momentum there. Mayato going to take a move to the inside. He's going to look now to the inside of Marcus Emerson. And this could be dangerous, but he's able to get that car slowed up. And we'll see if he gets some assistance here from the 7 machine. But Emerson actually going to drop down in front. And so Mayato not going to be able to gain the positions like he thought he would. But the 10 gets shoved up into the outside wall. He started looking to the outside of Emerson. And that really cost him. But Eli hitting a little slide there in the middle of all of this craziness. He is still hanging onto that car 3 wide on the exit, able to keep it pointed in the right direction. And everybody moves to avoid him, but Mayato right here in the middle of all this. Eli Hinton loses a couple positions from that. So tires look like they may be playing a factor as Mayato a little wiggle there, and now they're 3 wide. 2 Toyotas flanking the V-Speed Camaro, but it looks like Halpern backs out of it. This is some crazy racing, just waiting for someone to make too big of a mistake to avoid. And right now, everybody doing a fantastic job of racing very hard, but racing clean as that 48 car now challenges for the race lead once again down into the corner. He's going to send it in deep there and just barely stay off of Martinez. The 18 car really wide on exit. That's going to cost him as the 48 still along the quarter panel applying the side draft now. And here comes the 77 of Cabot with a big push. Does he see an opportunity to go down to the inside here? No, he pushes that 48 car and then he'll back off just a little bit to make the turn. And here comes Stravato, going to take advantage of that as the 77 a big slide there. And there's some contact, the 7 and the 13 in this 4-car battle that just does not let up at all. The 2 Camrys, the Mustang, and the Camaro. As, oh, that was a close incident there. The 7 up into the wall. That's going to stack them all up. Mayato involved. He's going to turn the 13, and off the wall they go. Some big hits as Mayato goes around other drivers. Like, that was Dylan Parker just barely getting around it. What a good job by Dylan, but Eli Hinton absolutely destroyed after that contact on the front straightaway. And it was a matter of time for that group of race cars to get involved in something. We saw some blinking there, I think, from the 13 car. Yes, a little bit of blinking there. As the 7 goes into the wall, they stack up behind him. Mayato nowhere to go. He gets hit by the 13. A few other cars go down. Yusuf Ghali gets hit in all of that as well. Let's see if we can get a little closer to see who was involved. You see it, Ghali right there, nowhere to go. Where is the 54 car? There he is. Go on board with Yusuf here. This was, I'm not sure if there's a whole lot that could be done. Can't really even see it happening until it's too late, and he gets hit in the side. Big hit there. Looks like the 12 involved in this one. That's Brennan Hattery. See what happened here with Brennan. As they're all wrecking in front, he tries to avoid it all, gets tagged by the 75, and the 75 Caleb Hattery also involved in this one. I saw another car. I'm trying to figure out who that is. A 27. That is Jordan Ashlin. He was involved in this one as well. Not really anywhere for him to go as Mayato bouncing off the outside wall. Some big hits. Look at the 8 car up there. Did a good job of avoiding, and then Dylan Parker. I don't know how he avoided this. I want to go on board though. I want to see how close this was. This is incredibly close from this. Yeah. So the 3 car right here on your screen to the outside of the 21. Mayato in the middle of the racetrack in front of him. He slams the brakes, and then look at that car. It is 90 degrees pointed to the right, and he's able to get it slowed up. And then again, 75 there in the middle of the track. He's able to avoid that as they all make their way onto pit lane. Actually, Jeff Wright off of pit lane. And he'll lead a group of race cars. What a big wreck there, though, for quite a few drivers. We got a lot of Adam Cabot fans. The Magic Man here showing us some magic early on in this race, but ended up coming up a bit short for the stage win. We'll see if he has anything here to go the rest of the way, but laps just clicking off here, actually. One of the faster Michigan races that I've experienced. So we'll do a quick recap. Just 3 cautions and 10 lead changes in tonight's race. As Cabot, I'm not sure what he's doing right now, but this could be a penalty if he's not careful. I think he's supposed to go to 3rd. I'm not sure if he got a penalty or what the case is there, but very interesting as pace car lights are off. And this leads about 12 cars in the lead group with no damage, I think. And then a handful of drivers behind them. Looks like Dylan Parker topping off on fuel to make sure he can go the distance. Dave Ferris getting a bit of damage repaired under this yellow flag. He'll go right around the number 3 machine and catch up to the tail end of the field. And it looks like quite a few drivers still sitting on pit lane. Garrett Keat is back on the lead lap, able to survive everything so far, and from 3 laps down, back into contention right now in the 19th position. And we do have 23 cars remaining on the lead lap. First car 1 lap down, Eli Hinton in that 13. I think he will probably be done for the night. Jordan Ashland 25th, Caleb Hattery 26th, and Keith Mayato 27th are the drivers off the lead lap. Yusuf Ghali has taken it behind the wall. He will most likely finish in the 28th position. His pace car makes the hard left-hand turn. And we are back underway. Green flag in the air once again. Jeff Wright leads us down the front straightaway across the start-finish line. And in his mirror, Adam Cabot. These two have been up at the front all race long. The 77 car, though, not able to get around the 18 just yet. Now, I think out of turn number 2, he should be able to slide up in front, and he does. Behind him, side by side, it is the 18 of Martinez and the 22 of Mark Emerson. And Jeff Wright with not a lot of drafting help, or none really. He's actually falling back into the clutches of Cabot. As the 77 looks to the outside, trying to find a way around, tries to go down low. Now he gets to the inside, down across the start-finish line. It is side by side, neck and neck. 77 in the 48. Can't cut out any of these cars that don't have damage on them, though. Some of these guys have come from deep in the pack. Some of them have just survived barely. Some close misses at this point in the race, and you know they want to get up there and win race number 1. As look at this move by Jeff Wright, so aggressive to get down to the inside and right along the yellow line for most of that corner. Not something you usually see here at Michigan, but he was able to make it work. And as across they come at the line, it was Adam Cabot, but must have been by just a few inches. As now look at this, AJ Stravato challenging for the 3rd position. He'll take away that spot from Mark Emerson, and he'll set his sights on those top 2 who continue to race it out. And under 30 laps to go. It is Jeff Wright, Adam Cabot, AJ Stravato, and then behind them, Jeremy Miller fighting on the inside of Marcus Emerson. And Alec Martinez right here as well. He's been up in the front and contending tonight. He's led some laps. I would look for that 18 car to get up there and challenge. He was your regular season champion last season. So it would not be a surprise if Alec can get up there and really start to put the pressure on before time expires in this race, as Elliott Butler and Ryan Shelton behind him really forcing the issue, though. That 18 car is going to have to get moving or he's going to get run over. I think he's just trying to save fuel and save tires right now, but costing him some lap time as across the start-finish line, Shelton to the outside, going to try and claim 6th away. And big run there. And here goes the 6 of Butler to the inside. They're going to split him as here comes the 21 looking to the outside. And Martinez, I think his strategy here is to save some gas, because I think it's going to be very close for some of these guys. But at the front, Stravato challenging with the 48 of Jeff Wright. And this is going to be confusing for me, because I've been so used to seeing the name Stravato with the 48 on the side of the car, and back to how it was before, the 48 of Jeff Wright. And that car is, oh, we've got a car slamming into the wall. That's the 30 of Miller. Off the nose of Ryan Shelton, who's dropping like a rock. That car really damaged now. But we stay green. What happened here? Looks like it was a big run by the 10 car. Gets to the outside. Oh, didn't quite. He just got to the back bumper, and that turns the 30 into the wall. Everybody avoids. But tragic there for Shelton, who had been running such a good race, and also that 30 car of Miller. That car is very hurt. Look at the back end on that thing. I think he's going to have to go to FCP Euro for some new parts. But at the front, Stravato not able to capitalize and take the position away. He's still challenging for it. Here comes Adam Cabot back to battle with these guys. If you are enjoying the stream here tonight, please consider following or subscribing. You can check us out on all these different social media outlets, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, where you can stay up to date with what we're doing throughout the week. Also consider following us or subscribing right here on Twitch. We're here live every week for more of this great racing action. At the front, it is Jeff Wright leading the way, and we're going to go on board with AJ Stravato for just a couple moments. As he works to the outside of Adam Cabot, those two continue to race it up. And that is allowing that 48 car to hang on to the top spot for the moment. But the 77 of Cabot, he's going to clear himself out of turn number 4. Not sure how happy the 33 car is, but maybe he'll give him a huge shove down the front here to let him know. And that looks like he is doing exactly that. He wants those two to get to battling so they can slow up and he can just sneak on past. But that has allowed Mark Emerson to close in now the top 4, top 5, single file. And then we've got a battle back there. That is the 6 of Elliott Butler, who is starting to look to the outside of Alec Martinez for the 6th position. And now the battle is on. Here goes Adam Cabot looking to the inside, not going to have the speed as Jeff Wright able to hang on to it. That 77 car very low in the corner there. That's such a hard thing to do. I would think you'd have to get to the outside to make the pass here tonight. As the 75 of Caleb Hattery rolls back onto the racetrack, trying to get a few more laps completed. There are a few more drivers damaged. As they are wrecking on the backstretch. That is the 6 of Elliott Butler. Across the racetrack, yellow flag's going to fly. Let's see who else was involved in this. Like Dylan Parker, possibly. Yes, big hit for Dylan Parker. As the yellow flag flies again here, lap number 69. That is not a nice time to have a yellow flag if you are Dylan Parker or any of these guys involved here. We're going to back up just a tiny bit more here. It actually looks like it might have started with Dylan. They were racing it up. The 6 car a little loose up high. Dylan gets loose down low, trying to hang on to it. The 6 and actually the 7. That is the 7 getting involved there. Halpern just tags the back. The 3 car goes down across the racetrack and just slams the inside wall. Let's go back here. The 40 car is well involved in this one. And I think that's pretty much it, but actually good job by Dane Cruz to hang on to it. For the most part, I don't think he really has much damage at all. Just a little bit on that right front fender. But the field working on to pit lane, led by Jeff Wright, Adam Cabot, AJ Stravado, Mark Emerson, Eddie Trejo. We're going to go side by side for this quick caution, and we'll be right back.
I'm Jonathan Proper, CEO of Drops.com, and I'm here to give you the naked truth about laundry. Size does not matter when it comes to laundry. Let's start with jugs. It's big, all right, messy too, and expensive. You know why? Lots of plastic, lots of water, shipped all over the country, from factory to warehouse to retailer. That's what you're paying for. It's a dinosaur, and we all know dinosaurs are extinct. Meet our imitators. This is your average detergent pod. It has 20 plus chemicals with names nobody can pronounce. Nice colors. I hope they don't stain. I know color doesn't clean. Would you take a bath in either of these? No way. That's why we developed Drops. Drops is dye-free, MPE-free, phosphate-free, animal cruelty-free. So free, it's freaking awesome. We make Drops with only 6 safe ingredients, certified by the EPA. Drops is tough on dirt, but gentle enough for baby's skin. It's so gentle, I'm taking a bath in it. Doing laundry with Drops is hard to up. 1 drop equals 1 load. Now, can we talk about my package? 100% recyclable. Manufacturing Drops ourselves and distributing directly helps us cut out the middleman and reduce transportation costs. With delivery plans as low as $4 a month, the average family can save $100 a year. Hello? What are you saying? The cleanest clothes at the lowest price? You're damn right it's a great deal. Thanks for calling. Shipping is always free. You choose the product and plan that's right for you, and we'll drop Drops at your door. The naked truth is that Drops makes laundry better and life easier. Every Drops counts, saving money, plastic, water, and time. So go to Drops.com. The first one's on us.
You saw there Garrett Keat on the pit road. He was actually your race leader when everything cycled out, and he just elected to take 4 tires there. It looked like he maybe had taken 2 or had just elected to stay out and see how things fell, but thinking better of it here, he takes it down the pit lane, and that hands the lead back off now. Adam Cabot, I believe, your race leader. Yeah, it looks like the 77 machine, your race leader here. About to get us going once again. Eddie Trejo, the number 21 car. How about this? Up from 21st position. Right here in that 3rd spot. What a good job so far in this race to survive. Try and take that 21 car to victory lane here. He's got just a little while left to do it. A little while longer for about 10 or 12 cars that are still clean in this race. And we do have a couple cars on their haulers right now. Eli Hinton and Yusuf Ghali both taking it behind the wall. Green flag in the air. We are back underway once again. Under 20 laps to go. It is Adam Cabot leading the field towards turn number 1, and Jeff Wright in kind of reverse roles here. He'll follow suit with that 77 car. And what does Cabot do to try and maintain this lead and prevent getting slipstreamed or kind of leapfrogged here by the cars behind him. Here comes Stravato, going to be the first to try and attempt that, as he dives down to the inside. The 48 car right up high, not able to hold him off, as there goes Stravato right up across the nose. That was a close call for those two, but able to survive it, as now he's looking to the outside, not going to have room to work as Cabot throws the block there, running the middle line right now. Maybe a good move for the 77. We'll see what he can do here to prevent the 33 of Stravato to look to the inside. He's not quite close enough this set of corners, but I think with the draft down the front straightaway, he might have an opportunity headed into turn number 1. As Cabot now probably up over 20 laps led in this race, so definitely a very good run so far, but it's not over. Here comes Stravato to the outside. He wants the lead away, and here comes the 21 of Trejo looking to the inside of Jeff Wright. So Wright, who's kind of dominated this race, I'd say, in danger of falling out of the top 3, and a big wiggle there. That was the 71 of Lane Sulfridge in the Hot Wheels machine slipping down the racetrack. Here comes Lyle Sulfridge looking now to make that pass, but don't want to miss anything happening up at the front here. Look at this gaggle of race cars. The top 2 out in front. Oh, almost a wreck right there as Stravato got the back bumper of the 77. Cabot still with the race lead, but I think Stravato might be able to get out in some clean air here, and this could be interesting to see how it all works out. Cabot trying to find his way back underneath. Look at the big wiggle there, and cars really scattered right now, and Stravato blocking all the way to the apron. I don't think Cabot's going to have any part of that. He gets to the inside here, headed towards turn number 3. Going to try and take that lead right back away, but he's a little bit loose on turn entry. But really trying to fight back down on the inside. He's able to get mostly clear, but the 33 still out there on the outside. Going to pull back alongside as they cross the start-finish line and down into turn number 1. Laps clicking off here, running out of time to get out in that clean air. And side by side they go once again through turns 1 and 2. Very close racing there as they head onto the back straightaway. It is Cabot and Stravato, and then Wright and Martinez right there behind them. But AJ Stravato, who has raced so hard all race long to get up to this position, he had a mistake on pit road that sent him all the way to the back, and he is charged right up here. And I think he may lead his first lap of the night just now. Looks like maybe he did not. Cabot at the line, so Stravato still has not led a lap. But he is trying so hard up high there. Look at that. Inches separating these two drivers, putting everything on the line. There are bonus points for leading laps. There's bonus points for leading the most laps. So it is a huge benefit to get out in that clean air, not only for the speed, but also for your championship hopes. As look at this, once again, challenging down low. Now Stravato has the advantage at the line. He will take the lead for the moment, but the 77 car down low still fighting for that spot as he slips up the racetrack. Almost contact. Stravato, though, look at the drive there. He'll take the lead away with just over 10 laps remaining. And now about 6 cars out in this lead group, and then Safe Fair is leading the second group of race cars with Zach Halpern and others just inside the back half of the top 10. Fair is up the track a little bit. He's still got time to get up there along with these guys to try and challenge. Look at the block there by the 33 of Stravato, who comes up off the banking. Nearly a disaster right there between these two. As Alec Martinez also trying to find a way around. He may have saved his stuff for the right time. It will be 10 laps remaining next time by. And the Magic Man trying to make magic down low. There's the 18 blinking for a moment. And here goes Stravato losing the lead. The 77 of Cabot now takes away that top spot. Maybe Stravato used his stuff up a little bit too soon. Or maybe he's just trying to time it out. Look at this run down the front stretch. He's going to go back to the inside. I don't know how he just did that. But he's trying to make the pass here. The 77 of Cabot, though, holds him off for the moment. Stravato, a big slide down there. Here comes Alec Martinez challenging to the outside. And that's for second position. He'll take that spot away. And now Stravato set to battle with Jeff Wright for third. So Cabot back to the point. He was leading at the start of this run, and that has seemed to be the key here. He's had control of this for the majority of this run. But Martinez charging hard behind him. Look at the speed down the straightaway. Gains another car length or two. And that draft working wonders for these top five who stay nose to tail. And the sixth car there, that is Eddie Trejo, starting to fade back just a little bit. And a big block there by the 77. Holding off the inside lane. But here comes Martinez challenging on the outside now. As they dive into the corner. Look at this. Gonna pinch him down just a little bit. Martinez not able to complete the pass just yet, but they are solidly side by side headed towards that start finish line. And nobody giving an inch now. Less than 10 to go. Now 8 laps to go. It is Adam Cabot and Alec Martinez nose to nose through turns 1 and 2. And then behind them, Jeff Wright, who's dominated this race, and AJ Stravato, who's charged from the back multiple times. And then you've got Mark Emerson, Eddie Trejo in the 21 and 22. These guys fighting for a spot in the top 5 here tonight. Also maybe challenging for the race win if things go awry, but right now not in position to take the lead away. And look at this. This is as close a battle as it gets here with this amount of time remaining. Look at the big push there from Jeff Wright. He's going to send the 77 deep into the corner, but Martinez with the advantage using the high line. He pinches down the 77, and that's going to send Cabot back to second. Here comes Jeff Wright. Does he have a run on any of these two? Kind of snaking down the backstretch is Martinez to break the draft, but they are all right there with him. And this has got to be kind of a terrifying position to be with so few laps remaining and all these cars still right here fighting for it. It could be anyone's race. And what an exciting event this has been to open the season. I can't believe there are this many cars this close to each other at the end of this. Michigan does not usually go like this. And look at that, a little tap of the wall there, I think, by the 21 of Trejo, as the 48 trying to find a way around the 77. Not able to do it just yet, but looks like the 77 of Cabot starting to struggle a little bit here. He's lost a couple car lengths now. That car is not looking super settled as he enters the turn. And now 5 laps remaining. He's going to have to find something deep down to get up there. And that something deep down looks like the 48 pushing him. And oh, big slide there, really deep into the corners. Not going to work out for him, I don't think. He tries to pull the draft off the 18 of Alec Martinez, but Martinez absolutely flying right now. Here comes the 48 of Jeff Wright, though. He's going to try and take second away. And Cabot not going to concede the spot just yet, but I think he knows maybe that 48 car has a better opportunity of getting up there and challenging. Look at this bump draft down the front straightaway. Huge shove by the 77. And Jeff Wright now within a car length, 4 laps remaining. Big run down the backstretch for Jeff Wright. Still 1 car length, but Martinez doing everything he has to stay out in front. It'll be 3 laps remaining for the number 18 car. Your regular season champion last season. Can he take a victory this early and set himself up to make the playoffs? As I think he had a connection problem just there. He did, but didn't lose him for too long. 3 laps remaining. And it is the top 2 now broken away. Adam Cabot kind of falling out of contention. a few car lengths back, but it is not over. There's still plenty of time for anyone up here to get this done. As Martinez, he's navigated the chaos. He's survived, now leading about 10 laps. He took the lead a little while back, if you recall, and lost it. But now gaining it back when it matters. Obviously has a very quick car tonight. And it looks like he may have the opportunity to take that Ford Mustang to victory lane first of anyone this season. But the 48 car is trying to have a say in that as well. He is just a car length or so behind it. Look at the big send into turn number 3, right on the back bumper. Gonna have to find something here, headed towards the white flag. Jeff Wright, a little bit of a slide there, loses about a half car length down the front straightaway. Can he pull the draft to get up there and fight with the 18? But white flag in the air. This is the battle for the race win. Everybody else probably too far back. But Martinez, he goes deep into turn number 1. A little bit loose there on exit, but he's going to hang on to it. And Jeff Wright not quite close enough. 2-3 car lengths the difference. And he continues to pull away in that 18 machine down into turn number 3. Just a couple more corners. And Alec Martinez will be your first race winner of the season. Clean out of turn number 4. No one can challenge him. It's going to be Alec Martinez across the start-finish line. He'll win at Michigan. And what a battle there to end that out. 5 or 6 cars in contention. Alec Martinez, though, he saved his stuff, saved the best for last. Drives from 14th to win tonight's season opener, leading 13 laps on the way. And that is exactly what you have to do at a track like Michigan. Look at him burn it down here at the start-finish line. The 18 machine. Gonna take it home for the first race of the season. We're going to cut quickly to a commercial break, and we'll be right back with the post-race interviews.
Welcome to V-Speed, your home for sim racing excitement, providing dramatic moments from iRacing and beyond. We offer broadcasting for leagues across iRacing with specialized packages to help grow your league and advertise your sponsors.
Shot at it, I think, and right now Stravato with that advantage. It's half a car length the difference between first and second going into turn one. He gives the bumper to Connor Horn.
Jim, these two have gone all year to get to this point. Jacob Shorba drifting up the racetrack. They make contact. The 88 goes around. The 95 goes around. The 12 caught in it.
Our design team can help you create anything from paint schemes to sim rig parts with expertise in both 2D and 3D design with 3D printing capabilities. Looking to get into broadcasting yourself? We can help you design and operate custom overlays to make your stream look as professional as possible. Our team can create and manage custom merchandise sales for you and your team. Check out our shop to see what we have in stock and how we can create some awesome merch for you. Check out our race replays on YouTube or catch us live weekly on Twitch. Visit us at vspeedsim.com to see how we can help you on your iRacing journey.
And back at the racetrack now, we're going to be bringing up your race winner from tonight's event. Alec Martinez, Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy. Well, Alec, for the first time in 2021 here in the Virtual Racing League, you are a winner. And what a way to do it here tonight. You came from 14th. You led a few laps in the middle section of the race, and then kind of looked like you were biding your time back there, waiting for the moment to strike, and strike you did. How'd you get it done here tonight?
A lot of just, I guess, luck on the cautions. I know the caution we had before we started, we were saving fuel because it was really tight on fuel. But it was all about clean air tonight, and it will be for the mile and a half for the rest of the season. So I just knew once we had that caution, it was push for the first, I think, 12 laps and try to get in front if you can and just hold them off, draft on the straightaways, and then if you have clean air, you definitely have the upper hand in the corners. So all about minimizing what you can do. But I hope you guys, all the viewers, enjoyed it. I hope you did too, Adam. It was wild out there. A lot of moves, a lot of slicing, dicing. Pretty clean for Michigan. A lot of people wreck out here, but these guys kept it clean. I just thank you guys for broadcasting. Thank you guys for viewing us and watching us on Wednesdays, and hope we put on a good show for you guys. First time in a Ford, and we won. So maybe that's a good sign. I don't know.
Yeah,
hopefully
maybe the blue oval is a good luck charm for you. But
if it is, I'm all for it.
Yeah, Ford taking home a victory here in the hometown, here in Michigan. So definitely, a fantastic run, and we saw you making the moves, and you did have that run to the front kind of, earlier in the race, and then you faded there. What was the plan during that portion of the race, and did you think you were going to be able to get to the front again?
The plan, I knew the stage was early. I didn't qualify as good as I would have liked, but my plan was I wanted to get to the front. I knew with the just the way the setup was handling in draft and when we were in the packs, you could tell that later in, as the run went on, air would start to kick in. So I think the goal, for me at least, the goal was to, drive up to the front as much as they do in real life, track position, and get up there, and kind of got halted in traffic and couldn't really get out, really. I got one guy, I think, and just kind of stayed there. And then at the end of the run, I just was, thinking I just got to make my time, got to bide my time through the field. And I did that. And, I honestly didn't think I was going to get much farther up there with the way things are going at that point of the run. But you know what? We did, and came out on top. Good way to start off.
Yeah, definitely a great way to start, and making the most of every opportunity you had at each point in the race tonight. We head to Dover next week, so half the length of this racetrack, very different track. What are your thoughts on going out there?
Great racetrack. Tires a little weird with it, but still love Dover. Not the greatest there, but I'm put my my best on it on that track, and try to get another win, bring home a good point stay. I do like Dover, and I hope to put on a good show for all you viewers, and have a good rest of the season.
Yeah, definitely put on a great show for us here tonight. Very exciting way to kick off the season. and you take home the victory. So anybody want to give a quick shout out to that you haven't already mentioned before we let you go celebrate?
Yeah, Reggie Ortega, Elliot Butler, Jeremiah Vincent, Mark Emerson, admin in this league. You guys for broadcasting, and Mark Emerson again for putting me on his team with Jordan. My new teammates Jordan Ashland, Angelo Ronis, and obviously Mark Emerson. So I'm glad we started off the relationship with the new team right, and hopefully we continue it and go get a few more wins this season, build up some playoff points for the rest of the season, and try to get a championship.
Yes, sir. We'll see what you can do, and that all starts again next week. So congrats on the win tonight, and we'll catch you next week at Dover.
I appreciate it, man.
All right, that is Alec Martinez winning tonight's race. Let's go to our second place finisher. That is going to be Mr. Jeff Wright. This is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy. Jeff, you got me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep, I got you now.
All right.
Well, Jeff, you start second and you finish second, and you looked like the dominating car actually here for a good portion of this race, just coming up a little bit short at the end. Was there anything you could have done to put yourself in a better position to perhaps secure the win here tonight?
I think the only thing that we probably could have done better there was get a better launch off of pit road. We let Adam Cabot get around us on that round of pit stop. So we started, I think we started second on the outside there. It's just really tough in traffic. The dirty air is really bad. When I was out front, it felt like I could run away with the thing. But the second a car gets in front of you, it's really tough to do anything. And especially Alec, he's really good at taking care of his stuff. Getting towards the end of the race. So I knew Alec was going to be tough at the end, but it was a lot of fun racing with all those guys up front tonight. Alec, Adam, AJ, probably missing somebody else too that was a lot of fun racing with. But overall, finished in second. We led the most laps, got the stage win. It's a great night. Only thing that we could have done better was maybe get that win. Yeah,
pretty much first in everything else. So you can't really do much better other than taking the win, like you said. But great way to kick off the year and a fantastic battle up at the front. I know you had the clean air for a good portion of the night, but what was really, how was your car handling overall, and what was really the difference between being in traffic and being out in the lead?
Being out in the lead, the car just turns a lot better. You have a lot more mobility. It seems like the second you get behind somebody, you can't quite save as much. Although it's kind of a hard happy medium to manage when you're the leader, because you're trying to manage your stuff, but you're also trying not to get past, because that dirty air's so bad, and that clean air is just so valuable to have. But yeah, the car just doesn't turn as much, just doesn't rotate in the center, and it seems like you use a whole lot more tire when you're behind a car. So like I said, when we were up front, I thought things were going to be great if we could hold that lead. But the pit stop there, letting Adam get around us, and then it was going to be tough to get around them anyway. It was 20 laps to go at that point, so not really anybody's going to be saving much there. Everybody's going to be going pretty hard, but just happy to get second place here. Great way to start the year. Just want to say thanks to league admins for putting this on. Also you, Adam, for the broadcast. You do a great job, and just looking forward to the rest of the season.
Yes, sir. In terms of speaking towards the rest of the season, what are your thoughts on Dover next week?
Yeah, Dover's a fun track. It's really fast. We've had some different packages over the past. So we've had the low downforce and the high downforce. So you've kind of had to adjust between the two. We're going to be going the low downforce now. That's what we got. That's the one I like the best. I feel like we can be pretty competitive at Dover. Although there's a lot of guys in here that I know for a factor is very good at Dover, Adam Cabot being one of them. So we're going to have to go to Dover, try to get a top 5 finish. Who knows, maybe compete for another win.
Yes, sir, and we'll see if you can do that. But second place here tonight, very good race for you, and a lot to be happy about. But you come home in second place. Any final few shout-outs before we let you go?
Just the team owner, Elliot Butler, for getting these organized, and once again, the league admins for putting this on. It's awesome to have a Wednesday night league that we can all come and be a part of, and it's a really competitive league as well. So I think it's going to be a great season.
Awesome, Jeff. Well, congrats on the runner-up here tonight, and we'll catch you next week.
Thanks, Adam.
All right, that was second place finisher, and we want to give a big shout out to the followers, the new followers here, Dat Dude DJR, BHat12, and Ride Me Horse. I like that one. That's a funny name. We're going to go to third place finisher here, and that is Adam Cabot. We bring him up into the booth. We've got the Magic Man, Adam Cabot. Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
I do, Adam. How's it going?
Oh, not too bad. And you almost made some magic for us here tonight. It was definitely an exciting race, and you led a good portion of the event here. Just came up a little short in the end. Give us a rundown of the race from your perspective and what you think you might have been able to do there to capture the win.
I think it was pretty on par with most of my VRL career so far, which was competitive and upfront, but not quite enough to get that win. It was a really, really good hard race up front, especially with Jeff and Alec, and it was a really fine line between trying to save tires, but also be up front when it counted, because late in the run, once the tires wore off, it was so hard to make a pass if you're behind someone in their dirty air. So I realized that I probably was driving more off the right rear when I should have been maybe heating up the right front a little bit later in that run. And there's just a weird, there's like a pivotal part in the run where it's like a switch flips, and if you're behind the leader, there's not much you can do. So Alec did a really good job timing everything right and getting out front when it counted, and Jeff did the same thing with the stage. So it was a good competitive race, and definitely looking forward to the rest of the season. But at the same time, it stings to be that close and not get the win. But I have a feeling hopefully get some wins this season.
Yeah, definitely a good way to kick things off with the podium finish. 27 laps led, and you were basically first or second or third the entire race. So, a lot to be proud of, I think, in tonight's effort. And we go to Dover next week, which is obviously a very different kind of racetrack. But what are your thoughts on going out there?
I want to put pressure on myself, but I love Dover. Dover is by far my best track. On a pretty good win streak there in another league, and I just absolutely love Dover. Doesn't seem to matter if it's a tight set, loose set. It just really fits my driving style. So, these are some really competitive drivers, so it's win's never a sure thing. But definitely really hoping I can just get out front and hopefully stay there next week and finally get that win.
Yes, sir, definitely. Would be a great way to follow up a great effort from here tonight. Jeff Wright was also saying that you're probably the man to beat there, so maybe a little more pressure also hearing that. But definitely a great run for you here, Adam. A lot of fun watching you guys race up front. 27 laps led. Any shout-outs you want to give before we let you go celebrate?
Absolutely. Got to give a shout-out to my Clinton and Glenn Gardner boys at home watching on Twitch. Shout out to Pop-Pop. You might be watching. I'm not sure. And shout out to my teammates as well. Jeff and I were teammates, and we did a really good job tonight of working together while also battling really hard with each other and keeping it clean. So, yeah.
Yeah, definitely a lot of fun. And congrats on third place. And we'll catch you next week.
All right, sounds good. Thanks.
All right, that was third place finisher Adam Cabot. Once again, your race winner here tonight, Alec Martinez, as you see him tear it up there through the grass. Congrats to Alec on the victory on the season opener here tonight. And we are going to go to our full results rundown and head on out for the night. Let's take a look at where all your favorite drivers finished. And looks like 4 cautions tonight, a total of 16 lead changes, so very competitive at the front. And ultimately, Alec Martinez drives from 14th to take the win here tonight over Jeff Wright, who finishes second, Adam Cabot finishing in third, AJ Stravato finishes fourth, and Mark Emerson finishing in the 5th position. In 6th, it was Eddie Trejo. 7th was Garrett Kite, who can't forget that he was 3 laps down in last place early on in this race, but able to weather the storm and round out the race in 7th. What a good run for him. Zach Halpern able to get a strong 8th place. Angelo Ronis finishes in the 9th position, and Safe Ferris in his debut here with a top 10 in that number 44 machine. In 11th, it was Taylor Butcher Benjamin. 12th was Jeremiah Vincent. 13th, Lyle Sulfridge. 14th, Lane Sulfridge. 15th, Dane Cruz. 16th, Elliot Butler. 17th, Ryan Shelton, who had a pretty strong run at one point in this race. A little bit of damage there took him out. Eric Hutton finishes, Josiah Vincent 18th. Eric Hutton finishes in 19th. Rounding out the top 20 is Jeremy Miller. 21st, it was Joe Stafford. 22nd, Dylan Parker. 23rd, Brennan Hattery. 24th, Keith Mayato. 25th, Jordan Ashland. 26th, Caleb Hattery. 27th, Eli Hinton. And rounding out your field in 28th, Yusuf Ghali in the number 54. Last year's champion, not off to as good a start. this year, but plenty of time to recover from that result. As we are going to be back here tomorrow night with the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series. You can find us on all of these different social media outlets to see what we're up to throughout the week. But we're going to have 2 races each week for quite a while now, so you'll find us here on Wednesdays and Thursdays, and the occasional special events on Fridays or Saturdays as well. So make sure to stay up to date with what we're doing. Turn on notifications. Check us out on YouTube as well to find race replays and awesome, great racing content. You can also check out what we have to offer at vspeedsim.com, which includes broadcasting services, custom design and custom merchandise, and much more to take your iRacing experience to the next level. Thank you, Chattery, for the follow. Appreciate that. And hope to see you out here next week in the series racing as well. And we are going to jump in with, let's see who we can jump in with here tonight to close things out. See if I think we've got Derek Justice online. We're going to jump in with Derek, one of the Coca-Cola Series Pro drivers. A great driver, great guy, and hope you enjoy his content. We'll be back here tomorrow night at 8:25 p.m. Eastern Time. You won't want to miss that race. We'll catch you all then.